time is running out. I don't like repeating myself. Act or fail.
I try to be, everything I do is aimed towards X goal. Anything I do, I try and keep the end goal in mind. So people who know me say, Tate, your whole life is work. I say, yeah, it is, but I live a fun life. And I do what I enjoy, but every single thing I do has some kind of work tinge to it. It's not so much as having a plan, it's just a mindset and an attitude. I'm always constantly striving towards something. The idea of just relaxing completely, I'm quite fortunate because I don't find that appealing. People go, oh, I'd love to just relax on a beach. I can't think of anything worse than sitting on a beach. I'll be bored in 3 minutes. I can't do that as an individual. So maybe that's something I've learned. Maybe it's something I'm born with. But for me, it's always been goal, action, 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 action. So with that in mind and a goal in mind, that's just kind of how I do it. But a lot of people, you're talking about making a plan, a 10-minute plan, but a lot of people don't even have a plan. A lot of the people are just waiting for their ship to come in. One day my ship will come in, and when it does, I'll buy a house and then, I'll go on holiday twice a year. Like, that's their entire life goal. That's their life plan. But I always had some kind of plan. Even when I was completely broke, I always had a plan. I always understood. I watched a TV show. It's an English TV show you would have never heard of. And it's a guy is stealing a university education. He's going to university without paying for it. And he walks into class and they say, who are you? And he goes, oh, my name's not on the list yet. I just transferred from another university. They go, okay, no problem. Sit down. And he says to himself, the whole world is just people walking into rooms and saying things. And it's a stupid little saying, but that clicked with me. I was like, he's right. Business. It's just people walking into a room and saying things. Everything is just people walking into rooms and saying things. So if I want to have money, I need to find the right room and the right people. That's what I wanted to do. So my life plan was always understanding I need a network. When I was poor, I was trying to find a network of motivated individuals, some ultra wealthy, some on their way up, that I could join so I could learn and do what they do or network with them or help some of them and start to get my way up, but I couldn't find it. So I had to do it all the hard way by knocking everybody out and traveling the world and meeting rich people that way. But that's how I did it, fighting. But I've always understood that your net worth is your network, right? It's who you know, who you talk to, what you talk about. That's how the world works. That's how it's always worked. So I always had a plan. My plan was to network with the kind of people who are living the life I wanted to live. But most people don't even have a plan that goes that far. And that's not an easy thing to do, but at least I knew what I was trying to do. Most people don't even know what they're trying to do.
Life's never easy, guys. The easy way out doesn't exist. There's only one way out. Through the thorns, through the pain. It's the only way it's ever been. It's the only way it's ever gonna fucking be. I wanna have to wake up every day and grind out and become richer than everyone else because I work harder than everyone else and I try harder than everyone else. I don't want any easy ways out. The idea of that aggravates me. I don't want to feel motivated. I want to feel tired and stressed. I want to run on pure discipline and adrenaline. Nobody is motivated at 4 a.m. Nobody. But some people are up anyway. You're praying for an easy way out. I don't fucking want one. Because if there is an easy way out, yeah, I'll win. But other people will win who I don't think deserve to win. Luckily, in my experience on this earth, the universe has never, I've ever seen, ever given an easy way out to anybody. So I don't believe it's fucking coming. And most of you seem to believe something fantastic is coming next year. And I would argue that it's not. Do you understand? That's not a reason to rest. That's not a reason to wait. That's not a reason to do less work. That's a reason to work harder. So even if you were right, that's even more argument for the same thing. It doesn't matter if you go left or right, you need to make money. It doesn't matter if you go up or down, you need to make money. It doesn't matter if it's hot or fucking cold, you need to make money. It doesn't matter if you're happy or sad, you need to make money. It's the only way to leverage yourself in this economic game that none of us can possibly escape. And what are you doing? What do you expect to happen here? And your version of locking in is finding copium. That's what you call work. Gentlemen, it's go time. It's go time like it's never been before. Either things are going to go great and you need to get your ducks in a row now before they go too great, or things are going to go wrong and you need to get your ducks in a row before they go wrong. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's fucking go time. And truthfully, the law of averages ensures that the majority of people are exactly that, average. If you're watching this, most of you are average. Most of you cannot be exceptional by virtue of the nature of exceptionalism. The majority of you will be average. That's what it means. But that's fine, because you can win if you're average if you're first. You can win if you're average if you try harder than the rest. You can win if you're average if you pay attention. You can win if you're average if you do the right things, if you're not lazy. It's very easy to win if you're average. You just need to get another advantage. And the easiest advantage is I'm prepared to put in the work every day, show up, and I'm going to start right now. I guarantee you results if you do that. Guaranteed. However you intend on making money currently is asking somebody else to pay you money. You can't make money. You are given money by somebody for something. This is the beauty of what I wanted to say to you. There's only one answer to all things. The answer is always the same. Doesn't matter what happens. What matters is you need money. There's never been a time in my life where having loads of money was bad. Ever. It's always an advantage. It's a cure-all. Same with strength. I've never thought, damn it, I'm too strong. Damn it. Wish I wasn't so strong. That doesn't happen. These are the two things that you can never get enough of, which is why they're the two things you should be focused on. Because once you get enough, you get to observe the game from above. You get to watch the ants argue and scatter around like I do. So I don't want you guys to be living on hopium. It is go time. Today is go time. Right now is go time. There's absolutely no other time for you to go but now. You either go now or you lose. Now you can finally take some action and get something done. As a man, you win by your very existence. That is the difference between a winner and a loser. A winner can breathe and people will have an opinion about it. A loser is trying very hard to be relevant. And it is your job to win as much as possible. And I'm going to make sure none of you are falling for a very obvious and simple trap. And that trap is the false idea of work and believing that anybody out there gives a shit about you as opposed to themselves. Because they don't. Life is actually very simple because it's a one-move win. Imagine no matter what scenario you're in, you only had to do one thing. Imagine boxing, and no matter what attack he threw at you, no matter how big and strong he was, no matter how tired you were, you didn't have to do any fancy combination. You didn't have to do any kind of clever footwork. You only had to do one move, and you instantly and endlessly 100% of the time won. And life is the same. And that thing is get rich. You know, whenever I see an argument online about anything, my instant response is, thank God I'm rich. And if I am emotionally vested in that argument, if I am looking at that argument and believe the outcome genuinely matters and can affect my life, I'm only more motivated to get rich. If I look at an argument and say, I really care about this, time to get rich. Why? Well, there's two reasons. Reason one is that wealth gives you power and allows you to move the needle. Because most of you are not rich enough to move the needle in any significant way. And two, wealth also gives you the ability to build your own reality. Focusing all that energy on getting as rich as possible is more likely to change your experience than rage posting. But you're trying to avoid the work. This is so important, guys. You find yourself locking in to do absolutely unproductive things because the only thing that's productive in all scenarios is earning money. I ask a lot of people what they're doing. They say, locking in, bro. And their version of locking in is just dumb shit. Watching podcasts for hope. Rage posting on Twitter for hope. It is best for you to assume that you're fucked. And the only answer is work. Hope can destroy you. You're at the bottom of a well, and to save your manicure, you're praying someone's gonna throw a rope down or a ladder because you don't want to scale the slimy walls and crawl out to salvation because of how difficult it's going to be. And you're sitting at the bottom thinking, a ladder's coming soon. I heard this rumor of this guy who has a ladder and he randomly puts it down wells. And maybe he'll choose my one. So if I just sit around and wait, that is the wrong mentality. It will soon be nightfall. You will freeze. It will begin to rain and you will drown. You don't have time. If the man with the ladder is coming, then you're good anyway. If the ladder comes down the well when you're halfway up the wall, you're great. But you should begin to climb anyway. It is win-win. The only thing stopping you is the trap of believing you're doing something by praying for the ladder man and laziness. And that's the beautiful thing about life, because the answer is nearly always the fucking same. Get rich, ignore the noise. Buckle down, ignore the noise. Lock in, focus, do important shit, ignore the noise. And make sure you're doing things that actually matter. Because there's a huge work trap that's been set up. You're not working as hard as you think you are if you're watching podcasts which are giving you hope that you've already done enough work. That's what you're doing. You're hoping someone is going to say to you that you've already done enough and it's all fine. Nothing is fine. You need to crawl out of that well with your fingernails. You need to scratch your face on hard stone. You need to get out of there like a man, even if the ladder comes. After you climbed out of the well, you bought yourself time. Now you're ahead of the game. Yes, you could have waited and had an easier way out. But think of how much time you saved by crawling out before the ladder man got round to you. This is extremely important. It's extremely important. And the great thing about this mindset is most people don't have it. But if you bow down and you get rich, the rest will do it for you. It's fine. Let them do the heavy lifting. Let them sit there and rage post and get mad and lose sleep and watch videos and do all that crap while you stack cash. And I guarantee you, that's how you're going to win. We're perfectly prepared to do the hard work. There's no such thing as easy money. There's money you fucking work for. I can show you where the gold mine is and I can give you a pickaxe, but you have to dig. If you're not going to dig, don't go. Do not go down the gold mine with a pickaxe if you're not prepared to dig. Then you're wasting everyone's time. You're wasting my time for giving you a hard hat and a shovel. You're wasting the elevator operator's time. You're wasting the company's time because we could have hired somebody else who actually wants to dig. If you're not prepared to work, don't fucking go down there. Stay at the top and never have a chance of finding gold. Believe that one day gold's going to just fall on your lap. You're going to find it by accident. By next year, I'll be rich. I don't have to work. I don't know how. It's just going to happen. Let's see, shall we? Or you can get rid of your childish, infantile dreams. Pick up a fucking axe. Get in the elevator and go down there with a vigor. Prepared to do whatever it takes. Choice is yours. But it truthfully is go time, gentlemen. I'm not going to tell you an easy way to make money. I'm not going to tell you you can just buy money and sit there and do nothing. I'm going to tell you how to crawl out. I'm going to say that you should do it the hard way. I can only teach you how to do things the hard way. That's all I know because it's all I've ever done. I've never done things the easy way. I've never been lucky. I've never caught a lick. I've been the guy who had to crawl out by the skin of his teeth every single time he ever escaped absolute decimation. I've been the guy who had it on the edge of annihilation, of his life falling apart, and he only pulled it off because he grit and bared pain and did whatever it took to win. I've never had it easy. I've never won easy. I've only ever did it the hard way. So it's all I can teach you. If there's someone out there who you believe in, who's promising you an easy way out, then go believe them. I don't know any easy way out. All I know is the hard way out. That's the only path. You're trapped in a forest, surrounded by bramble and ghouls which intend on taking your soul. And I am outside of the forest. And I am screaming to you saying, I know a way out. The path is long. It is dangerous. It is arduous. You may hurt yourself. You may get cut. It's difficult, but I can guarantee you it leads out. And perhaps there's another voice saying, I know an easy path and it just leads straight out and it's easy. If you believe them, try. But if it was true, if there was an easy path out, why are so many people still stuck? Why are so many people still trapped? If there's an easy way out of this mess. I can't give you easy answers. I don't have them. I only have the hard answers. And the hard answer is for you to knuckle down, stop fucking praying for an economic miracle, get your fucking act together, and start working all day, every day, until you finally have enough for you to no longer have to be forced to live an experience you don't enjoy anymore. Because that's all I did. So that's all I know. It's amazing how much you can achieve if you actually try. So why do I put emphasis on focusing to get rich? You should be as rich and as strong as possible because you're a full-grown man. And full-grown men need to be able to influence the world. It's never going to be smooth sailing. How could it possibly be? Life's never been that way.
When you were a kid growing up, what did you want to be?
That's a really good question. And, you know, I kind of feel like it's one of the most important questions a man should answer about himself. Because I think as a man, you get to choose who you want to be and become it. You build yourself into whatever you decide you want to be. But as a man, you get to decide which avatar you want to experience life as. You get to decide if you want to be the rock star or the basketball player or the astronaut or the firefighter or whatever we thought we wanted to be when we were children. And it's actually a very interesting psychological and philosophical question because you can sit and analyze, okay, have I become who I wanted to be? Like, I don't know. As a kid, I don't remember saying a specific profession as much. I remember being obsessed with obviously my father and Batman and chess and certain things. I didn't have a specific profession, but now that if you ask me, and I'm going to be all philosophical and self-reflecting, have I become who I wanted to be? Well, I like to think I'm a good representation of my father. I like to think I'm a good representation of Batman. I've got enough cars. I can fight, got the money. Everything's fine. So yeah, I think I've done pretty good, but I don't think enough men analyze and think, what did I really want to be when I was growing up and did I become it? Because that's the most beautiful thing about being a man. You can be anything. There's a whole bunch of shit that's cool that I don't want to do. I don't want to go base jumping. I don't want to swim with sharks. I don't want to do any of that fucking shit. But some dudes do, and they do it. There's many different ways to be an interesting person as a man. And the fact that so many men fail to achieve any of them is actually quite remarkable. So when I grew up, I kind of feel like I wanted to be the man I am today. I wanted to be financially successful. I want to be well-known, respected. I want my last name to mean something. I want to be physically intimidating. I want to be free. I want to be spontaneous because I had the means to be. And I want to be competent and capable and well looked up to. And I feel like I've kind of done most of those things. And I'm very, very happy with my life.
You are exactly not where you deserve to be. That is one version of reality. That's one version of events. And although that's true, I want to put it in a different way. You're exactly where you wish to be in life. Even if you think you are not happy where you are, I can promise you are. Because if you're truly uncomfortable, you can't even sleep. If I put you on spikes, you can't lay down. You only lay down even if you're semi-comfortable. What I often hear from people and see from people is that they get very motivated for short periods of time. They'll be very motivated to change their life for 3 hours, and then they'll just go back to playing video games, and they're actually not unhappy with their life. They're fine to play video games and eat beans on toast and sit around in a small little apartment. They only become unhappy for a few hours now and again. That's when they talk about how motivated they are. That's when they talk about how hard they want to try. But in general, they're actually perfectly fine with their life, meaning they wish to be there. If they wished to be anywhere else, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. And by extension, they would be exactly where they wish to be. I want you to understand at home, whether you're successful or unsuccessful, you wish to be where you are. If you wished to be big, you'd be big. You would train all day, every day. There is no such thing as wanting to be big and wishing to be big truthfully and not being big. If you say to a man, do you want to be bigger? They'll all say yes. But do they really wish for it? Oh, you'll take it for free. Well, you'll take anything for free. You'll take a Toyota Corolla for free, but you won't buy one. Taking something for free is very different than going out there and earning it and paying for it. They're very different things. So you're as big as you wish to be. You're as rich as you wish to be. You live where you wish to live. Because truthfully, when you wish for something with all of your heart, never in history has the universe or God failed to give it to you. Anything you've ever truly wished for in your entire life, you have gotten 100% of the time. So then the logical extension of this mindset is you have to analyze and decide, one, why you wish to be where you currently are. Why? And two, if you want to change that, where you actually genuinely wish to be, because you have to make sure you really want it.
I really don't like repeating myself ever, but it feels like I have to with you people. Let me tell you something else. Something I've already said. Let me give you one more piece of advice. And listen to me carefully, because this will be a video that will be clipped and I will play it back in 2 years from now. And you will kick yourself. Listen to me now. Listen in your heart. Listen to me. Because in 2 years, when I play this video back, you're going to hate yourself for your lack of action. So listen to me clearly. And you have been fairly warned. So in 2 years, when I ask you why you did not act, you have no excuse. You can pull out your ass. You were told directly from me. You need to work. You need to dedicate yourself. You need to take these next few months seriously. 2025 has to be a year of winners. You need to reflect on your life. You need to feedback. You need to analyze all of the mistakes you've made. You need to stop wasting your time and stop relying on me for temporary bursts of motivation so that you can focus on something for once in your fucking life.